you've got to hear this because the Ibrox rumour mill has gone absolutely nuclear. Steven Gerrard's name is back in the mix, but hold on. Davide Ancelotti's just been spotted nowhere near his dad's Brazil camp. Could the Real Madrid prodigy actually be Ibrox bound? That's not all. Jordan Henderson might be packing his bags for Glasgow. And get this, the top scorer, Cyriel Dessers, might be getting some competition. Rangers are eyeing up a striker so under the radar, he makes Hamza Igamane look like a household name. Don't blink. You're about to get the full lowdown on all the names, the moves, and the chaos that could define the next era at Rangers. Right, you'll want to sit down for this one. Things are bubbling away behind the scenes at Ibrox, and we're edging ever closer to finding out who's going to take the reins after Barry Ferguson's departure. Now, I know you've heard the names Gerrard, Anchelotti, Martin. It's like a revolving door of contenders, but let me take you through the real story unfolding. Steven Gerrard, the man who brought you that glorious title in 2021, ending Celtic's fake dreams of 10 in a row, has been heavily linked with a return. And why not? He knows the club, he knows what it means to wear the badge, and most importantly, he knows how to stop Celtic dead in their tracks. But hold on, it might not be that simple. Sources close to Gerrard are saying he's not in a rush. Apparently, he's spending time with family and preparing to become a grandfather for the first time. Lovely news for him, of course, but the Rangers' job waits for no man, especially not when you've got Champions League qualifiers and a league to snatch back from that lot in the East End. Then there's Russell Martin, steady, grounded, and still in the mix. Maybe not as glamorous as the Anchelotti name or as iconic as Gerrard, but there's a sense that the 49ers might play it safe. But let's not forget the numbers. Celtic finished with 92 points last season, Rangers 75. That's a 17-point gap. 17. We need someone who isn't just a good talker. We need a gaffer who can close that gap, wrestle the league back, and return Ibrox to where it belongs. So here's the question. Would bringing Gerrard back be an inspired move, or would it just be nostalgia masking a lack of ambition from the board? After weeks of speculation and a revolving door of managerial name, there's a fresh twist in the tale, and it's a big one. Davide Ancelotti, yes, the son of the legendary Carlo, now looks like he could be the man to lead Rangers into a brand new era. While everyone's been keeping an eye on whether Gerrard might return or if Russell Martin might sneak in, this development's thrown a curveball that could change everything. Here's what we know. Carlo Ancelotti has just done his first press conference as Brazil manager, and when asked about Davide, who's been glued to his hip for years as his assistant, he confirmed something very interesting. Davide's not with him in Brazil because he's currently in negotiations with a European club. And guess what? The smart money says that club is Rangers. Carlo even said that if things don't work out, Davide can just come back into the fold. But that doesn't sound like someone expecting his son to stick around. That sounds like a father giving his boy the green light to go and make his name. And where better than Ibrox? This isn't just some hopeful rumor either. If he's not gone to Brazil with his da and he's not snapped up anywhere else, then all roads are pointing to Glasgow. And let's be honest, the idea of Davide Ancelotti bringing that Real Madrid and Bayern Munich pedigree into Ibrox, that's enough to get the blood pumping. Yes, he's never been a head coach before, but what he lacks in solo experience, he more than makes up for in elite footballing education. High pressing, fluid formations, and tactical flexibility. That's the kind of stuff we've been crying out for. No more slow, sideways stuff. No more crumbling under pressure at Celtic Park. This could be a manager who doesn't just talk about modern football, he actually lives it. And with the 49ers clearly ready to splash the cash and build something long-term, this could be the start of something genuinely exciting. But here comes the spanner in the works. Would giving the Rangers' job to a rookie, no matter how glittering his background, be a stroke of genius or a reckless gamble when you're staring down Celtic and must win now? Right, let's get into this one. And it's a name you know well. Jordan Henderson, a Premier League and Champions League winner, and now potentially on his way to Ibrox. Word from the Netherlands is that Ajax are looking to offload him this summer. He's on a hefty wage, the kind that's made even the Ajax board wince. And after their manager, Francesco Farioli, who actually wanted to keep Henderson, was shown the door, the former Liverpool captain is now feeling the cold shoulder. The result? He's eyeing the exit. Now here's where it gets tasty. According to Dutch journo Mike Verwij, Rangers and Sunderland both have a solid shot at bringing him in. A return to the UK is looking likely, and while Sunderland would be the sentimental move, his boyhood club after all, the link to Rangers is being fueled by the constant Gerrard speculation. Gerrard brought Henderson through the Liverpool ranks, and the pair lifted trophies together. If Gerrard does land back at Ibrox, you can be sure Henderson will be high on his list. And let's be honest, that kind of leadership and experience in the middle of the park, it's exactly what Rangers lacked in key moments last season. But here's where it all gets a bit sticky. Henderson's 34. His legs aren't what they were, and he'd command a wage that'd make your eyes water. If Davide Ancelotti ends up in the dugout, as is looking more and more likely, would a flashy veteran like Henderson fit into the young, modern, high-pressing system he's expected to build? Ancelotti Jr.'s philosophy is built around technical quality, versatility, and tempo control. Think midfielders in their mid-20s, hungry, mobile, and ready to play at a European level. That's not exactly Henderson anymore, is it? So here's what I want to know from you. Would bringing Henderson to Ibrox be a masterstroke of leadership and winning mentality, or just another tired signing of an aging star past his prime, blocking the path for our own young talent? Right, strap yourself in, because Rangers might be dipping into the transfer market for another hidden gem, and this one's got the seal of approval from none other than Derek Ferguson himself. Now, you already know Cyriel Dessers had a belter of a second half to the season, 18 goals, top scorer in the league, finishing ahead of that overhyped Dyson Maeda from Celtic and yet somehow there's still folk humming and hawing about him. Sure, he can frustrate. He's no Ali McCoist, but goals win games, and Dessers delivered when it counted. But here's the truth. One man doesn't win you titles. Václav Cerny's gone back to Wolfsburg, and if Rangers are going to close that gap and properly take the fight to Celtic, they need more options up top. Not just bodies, proper firepower. That's where this next name enters the conversation. Evagoras Sharampus, a Cypriot striker plying his trade at Anorthosis Famagusta. And before you roll your eyes, hear this out. Rangers have scouted him. In his last 3 matches, he's bagged 4 goals. The release clause, just £42,000. That's not even a decent used motor these days. It's not a headline-grabbing signing, but remember Hamza Igamane? Nobody knew who he was either, and now we're talking about whether we can even keep hold of him. Same blueprint, low risk, high ceiling, hungry players with something to prove. Derek Ferguson reckons Rangers need at least 3 or 4 more strikers in the door. And honestly, he's spot on. Dessers had the numbers, but we can't go another season hoping one man carries the goal burden. The top teams rotate, challenge each other, and push for standards every week. That's what wins leagues, not clinging to one informed striker and crossing your fingers. So here's the question. Should Rangers go all in on unproven talents like Sharampus, or is it time to stop bargain hunting and finally splash big money on a striker who can walk in and bully the league from day one? Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. I post videos every day talking about our Rangers, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the latest news. See you soon.